Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having been here. I'm Gianmarco Longo, Assistant Professor of Practice at Geotong Liverpool University. I'm really excited to share with you our work on the topic of slow learning, fast learning, how to integrate AI and emerging technology into design with you. The integration of AI isn't just about new tools. Let's say it's a pedagogical challenge. The common approach is either rush to adapt every new technology or rejecting it to protect traditional methods are both, let's say, insufficient. The former risk is creating a generation of designers who can generate very stunning images but lack what we say a critical judgment to turn them in coherent, buildable architecture. Our core problem so is not choosing between speed and what we call slowness, but try to figure it out how to structure learning so students can somehow master both. So how we can help them to be both agile, experimenting, and deep critical thinker. This is what we say very essential question that this research address, proposing a new kind of model that deliberately try to combine different timing of learning to achieve a more complete design intelligence. The current knowledge gap isn't about the tools itself, but it's about the pedagogy of time. We have plenty of workshop on how to use AI, and we have a traditional studio that completely ignore it. What we lack is a structured way to make speed and deliberation work together. This paper argues that the solution is a deliberate dual-track model. Our central thesis is that by separating the fast learning of technical skill from the slow learning of a more what we call a critical application, and then creating a dialogue between them can really cultivate a more resilient and adaptive designer. Our contribution is a practical framework that comes from a successful teaching experiment that show somehow precisely how to do this. It's not a theoretical idea, but a tested model for orchestrating a kind of temporal pedagogies. So our method is a symphony of two movements. The first is the fast learning track. Think of it as a 3 to 5 day extracurricular workshop that his goal is rapid, hand-on experiment with the Donald Sean calls reflection in action. So thinking on your feet, we can say. No? The second is a slow track movement embedded in the core semester long studio. Here the piece is slow for deep mentored critique, or as Sean say, reflection on action. Underpinning this entire structure is what Kolb experiential learning theory was about, because the fast track cover concrete experience and active experimentation, jumping in trying things. The slow track covers reflective observation and abstract conceptualization, thinking deeply about what it all means. The fast learning track is a pedagogical sprint. In just few days, students are immersed in a highly structured, low-stake environment. They engage in a speculative design with prompt deconstruction, rapid iteration cycle, and constraint-based challenges. The constraint of time is itself a teaching tool, forcing quick decision and iterative loops. The goal here is not to have a finished, polished design. It's about building intuitive fluency and comfort. Students learn to think through prompting, seeing the AI as a brainstorming partner. To create a more engaging environment during each initial stage of a workshop that we create on speculative design, we shared this framework on an online virtual learning platform. In this case was Miro. This encourages students to collaborate in teams and utilize the platform as a dynamic whiteboard, giving them the possibility to develop different activities, research, mind mapping, post-it pin-up, storyboarding. The virtual learning environment really provided the student the opportunity to collaborate and share the idea about specific topic in a very fast and collaborative way. So if the workshop is a sprint, the studio is more a kind of marathon. Here we slow everything down. This approach of the studio became more a kind of a conversational space. The process starts by exploration of a tools, the different conversation, text to text, text to image, image to image, generate design that can be used as real idea generator and concept. Then begins the more core activity of our what we call it critical interrogation, using this controlled variation as an investigation tool to explore different design strategy. These combined through pin-up and descriptive really give us the possibility to evaluate and dissect this kind of iterative proposal. The last phase of the slow learning track is what we call it the reimagining phase. Here the AI become a real conversational partner for probing deeper architectural questions, not only solution generator. The ultimate outcome is the affirmation of the human designer as the critical author, using AI speed as a scaffold for their own deep, reflective thinking. They ask to themselves, what biases are in this output? Is this spatially coherent? How will this be actually built? So, thanks to a slow and critical use of AI, students were able to reshape architectural sensibility and also architectural codes. This hand-on project-based student approach, they explored both photography, algorithmic geometry, time-based modeling, and immersive audiovisual performance. Their speculative architecture investigation culminated with installation, 3D mapping, and AI-generated environment, situated at, let's say, a threshold between critical inquiry and digital imagination, rooted in both what we call it experimentation and a more design awareness. So the true power of this model isn't in the individual track, but in their synergy. It creates what we call it a virtuous cycle of learning. The fast workshop equips students with the technical vocabulary they need, so they can later enter in a slow studio not as a novice, so they can critique, can immediately focus on the architectural substance rather than the software mechanics, right? Conversely, the critical thinking owned during the studio, it will not just stay there. A student who has spent a semester questioning AI material and spatial assumption will return to the next fast-paced workshop with a more discerning eye. Their prompts will be more intelligent and architecturally grounded. This cycle continuously elevates both the agility and the critically producing a kind of designer that is not just fast, not just slow, but adaptive and intelligent. But of course, no model is perfect, and ours has important consideration. First, assessing them is a challenge. How do we can effectively grade the development of a critical AI literacy across such different format? It requires more than the traditional metrics. Second, managing the cognitive load for the student, but also for the faculty between the intense fast workshop and the deep slow studio require careful scheduling and a lot of support. Looking forward, the essential next step is to try to implement this model in a full curriculum and not well for a studio model. So some key questions remain. How does this model actually impact the design decision making 5 years later? How we can best prepare tutor to mentor in this dual model environment? This research opened the door to a new wave of a kind of pedagogical innovation focused on the tempo of the learning itself. Concluding, we can say that the fast-slow dual-track model offers a robust, proven structure for AI integration. It tries to cultivate a design intelligence that is both agile but profound. It goes a little bit deeper. The future of architectural education really lies in orchestrating the time, not just tool. In conclusion, the choice between speed and liberation is a false one. The future of architectural education lies in a hybrid model that strategically connects both. The fast learning workshop builds the essential agility and fluency to harness AI power, while the slow learning studio ensures that this power is channeled through a deep and critical reflection. Thank you for your attention and please let me know if there are any questions. Thanks again.